I mean, he does have a point. They don't have the same history together that a lot of the teams in the West have. But could you finger point one thing that is the reason why they're off to such a slow start, Nick?
Not one thing, but I think I can give you a few things that are the reason why they are where they are right now. One is there is no consistency night to night. So for example, the Lakers, they beat Denver, a team that hasn't lost once all year. Mm-hmm. It was to the Lakers. And then the next night, they go out and lose back-to-back games to San Antonio and to Minnesota, where they just don't even look competitive throughout parts of those games. They beat Portland, a team that's 8-3. The next night, they play their worst game of the year by far, get annihilated by the Raptors, who don't have Kawhi Leonard that night. They sat him. That would have been one of the big stories on the show if it didn't happen over the weekend when we had an NFL Monday to talk about on Monday. So why do they not have a consistent flow night tonight? Part of it's LeBron, and I'll get to that in a second. But the other part of it is what Magic's talking about with Luke Walton as far as figuring out a rotation. They have no rhyme or reason to the rotation. There's only been one team in this league so far this year that's played more different five-man lineups. Some of that's the suspension, but Luke Walton is still figuring out, when am I going to take out the starters? Am I going to go with the full five-man bench unit? And they don't have the continuity to it, and that's hurting their defense more than it's hurting anything else. But the other factor is LeBron is not yet playing like LeBron. Now, his numbers, I don't know how. I've watched every game they've played this year. Somehow, he's still giving you 27, 8, and 8. Because for some, he's always, I guess, going to give you 27, 8, and 8.
Since high school.
Since high school, he's giving you 27, 8, and 8. It's unbelievable. I told you this a couple years ago, that LeBron's sophomore, junior, senior year of high school averaged 27, 8, and 8.
Wow.
And in his NBA career, averages just about 27, 8, and 8. Like, for somehow, that's just what he's going to give you. But if you watch it, he is not the overwhelming dominant force on the court that we know he was for the last 30 games last year in Cleveland and the entire playoff run. And if he's not that, and Ingram hasn't been great, and Lonzo's been hit and miss, and they don't really know what Rondo's role is yet, that gives you a mediocre team that right now certainly has not found its way defensively.
To me, LeBron looks a lot like at a certain stage last season when they were in between 2 or 3 of those trades.
Yes.
And he was just trying to give it a chance, but he was trying not to be the dominant personality on the court and on the team. So you could see that he would allow things to happen during the game, not get really, really upset because he believes in the long processing. And I just believe in changing location. That LeBron he's a little sensitive towards overreacting, and he's done this a couple times. With talented teams, talented players. In the NBA, you're going to struggle. Miami, those first 20 games were not good. I'm talking about Dwayne Wade at that time was a superstar. Chris Bosh was a legitimate, underrated NBA star, getting 20 and 10. So they struggled. He goes back. Kevin Love. We know what kind of resume Kevin Love had before joining LeBron in Cleveland. And Kyrie Irving. I mean, LeBron had never played with an offensive player like Kyrie Irving, so they struggled. Why wouldn't we expect the Lakers to struggle? When we did the pre-analysis, preseason, I said they were struggling. I'm going to give them 20 games. We're only halfway through that. So their roster, the way it was put together, when you put Rondo, when you put Stevens on these types of teams, the spacing on the court, when you're trying to figure out Kuzma, Ingram, do they play together? So they had a lot of things when you put this roster together. There was no way they thought this was going to be a finished product. And it's going to take at least 20 to 30 games to be able to see a better product than what we're seeing now, Nick.
And I think, and I'm not reporting this, I have not talked to anybody close to LeBron on this, just my gut feeling here. I think LeBron feels about Luke Walton the same way I do, which is I don't know, which is we'll find out. And why does that matter? LeBron is not doing some things he's done in years past for other coaches, which is solving problems for them. LeBron is letting Luke Walton figure it out. I think because...
How does that behoove LeBron?
Because you got to figure out if Luke Walton's the right coach. You want to figure out if Luke Walton can help you, because it is not about this year. The Lakers will make the playoffs this year either way. They will not beat the Warriors this year either way. But what you have to figure out is next year, when you add that other star that I fervently believe they will, is Luke Walton the coach? I don't think Magic knows if he's the coach. No. And I think that the best way to find that out is let him be the coach. Don't have LeBron be the coach and player. Let Luke Walton be the coach. And if Luke Walton wants us to run this type of offense and to play this type of style, okay, let's see how that works out. And then I think now Luke Walton, I believe, will be the coach the whole year. And I think in the last 30 games, if they're in a playoff push, then it'll change. Because I don't think LeBron's about missing the playoffs to learn lessons. But early on, let's see what Luke Walton can do the first time he's coaching with real pressure and real expectations, and we'll find that out. I don't think it's fair to prejudge Luke Walton in either direction right now, and I think we got to watch and see.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.